Top of the morning, my fellow peasants. How you doing? So I'm pretty late to this one, but I really want to talk about the recent FF15 patch 1.21, the one that made Ifrit go from this to this. What the hell? Why? And now, before I get into that, there will be spoilers in this video, so spoiler alert. And obviously, it's clear to me the reason why Square made him look like Papa Smurf with third-degree trench foot is to show he's been affected with the Starscourgey. They also rejigged some of the voice lines.
May your soul know peace at last.
Now, I've not seen from any actual article from Square explaining why they've done this change, but the simple fact is, when you are having to slightly tweak the ending of a game over a year later to make clear huge plot aspects that should have been clear from the go, like the Shiva Ifrit relationship and the former being affected with the game's main fucking plot point, well then they didn't exist in the first place. Those plot points didn't exist. It's clearly a last minute retcon repair, a reaction to the fan base's dissatisfaction. It's an afterthought because I find it really hard to believe you knew Ifrit was going to be infected from the start, and yet this is how you went about portraying it. You clearly knew, and this is what you did. And I mean, let's even just talk about that, shall we? How he's betrayed. This isn't Starscourgey. How he was originally showed is nothing even fucking remotely like Starscourgey. My jimmies are honestly rustled by this, guys. We know exactly what this looks like and what you wanted us to think it was because every bloody fan thought it. Everyone thought it. It was a burned arm after the rejection of the Lucia ring, or was at least so remarkably similar that any fan who didn't at least speculate that there must be a connection. Because Square, you can't give us a movie where the two most burned, pun intended, into our memory moments was Nyx's arm incinerating and Ravis's also. Both on the left arm, no less. No less. So that's what we see before this game comes out. And I'm not even going to talk about how you showed us Ifrit before the game came out. Who shows the final fucking boss, or one of the last, in the goddamn trailer, and throwing in the same kind of burn scarring on the exact same arm as what we've seen? There's no reason. Really annoys me, guys. It's the same reason why the box cover art that we had here in the West, where Matt Kishimoto admitted he made it to look like Sapphire Weapon because the movie, Kingslave movie came out that had Diamond Weapon in, and he wanted to troll fans. Well, that's my best attempt at a Tidus laugh. Well, very good, Matt, well done. But the thing is, problem is, when you throw visual hints and clues like this, which in design, in essence, it's to get people excited, it's to stimulate excitement, speculation, curiosity, and theory crafting. I'm gonna say, YouTube's become huge. This has become a big part, and indeed it promotes the game. When you just abuse that, when you do it to troll or don't follow it up, follow it through, those hints, and they just led to nothing and no deeper meaning, well then it stops fans from ever caring or even bothering to look for any deeper meaning. It gives them no reason to be excited or to be curious or to wonder, or indeed to ever take your trailers seriously. I think that's what Square fucked up the most here. They showed us so many stuff in trailers, they showed us so many visual hints and clues in the game that either just turned out to be red herrings thrown at us to confuse us, or they were just never followed up. No, Peter's being another example of a place with a crap load of imagery that just came to nothing. Or in the case of El Mangy over here, which clearly, I mean, like, holy shit, how many times have we heard about the summon story being rewritten? Back in 2015, we heard they got pulled center stage, so it was clear you had a different concept and purpose in mind for Ifrit and all the summons. Of that, I don't have the slightest shred of doubt whatsoever. This project has been an evolving project that has been bent, twisted, manipulated, and changed based on the whims of the developers, the teams, the financial demands, the climate of gaming, and how this whole thing has just evolved out. And you know, even after the game, Tabit and the team have been talking about what they want to do with this story. Like, you should know. You should know, but it just seems like they're making it up on the spot, and I very much think that's what's happening, and it's definitely the case with all this 2018 content coming, because by their own admission, they didn't have shit planned before Episode Ignis. They didn't even think it was happening, so... And I really feel that with this patch 1.21, where they've made the man Ifrit all Starscourgey, really kind of proves or supports that argument. And this is something that I've been suspicious of from the start. I've been talking about in videos, and a lot of you guys have been agreeing with me. You can feel this kind of evolving story and how it's become disconnected. Plot points have been dropped and picked up, and it's just become a very unsatisfying thing to both follow, and things that didn't sound right, things that were clearly on the fly, and things that just don't seem right or integrated. I think is a better choice of words, integrated. And no, I'm not saying this as a hater. You guys know I'm the biggest defender of 15. I'm more excited and I've put more effort into figuring out the riddle of the summons than anyone. And why not? They are the gods of this universe. They are the beings in which this entire plot revolves and escalates around, and even you stressed they're important to us. So why is it we haven't got a single clue about who Titan is besides being a really grumpy morning wanker? What is Rama's real motivation? Why does Leviathan hate mankind? And how does that differ to Bahamut's? There's no context to these relationships. We know practically nothing about the beings who are supposed to be the core to this game, and indeed core to the Final Fantasy series. You made the summons more important than ever, and then you went and made it thinner than my receding hairline. And no, haphazardly patching in updates later on that offer up the basis of clarifications doesn't count. It doesn't count. The reason why it's finally clicked in my head, what I don't like about the summons, and I'll go back to that word integration. There was no feeling that these summons belonged in the world, let alone that they were the gods of it. You know, where are the worshippers? Where are the zealots? Do some of the gods instill fear, others hope? Now, where do we see Shiva's humanitarian side actually affecting the people? Was she more loved than the others? Do some demand servitude? No, what do they actually do for the world? Do they control the tides, the winds, the seas? Where is any kind of religious adoration? Where is it all? Because regardless of what you think about FNC, Fabula Nova Crystallis, at least the gods there meant something. They meant something to the people who spoke about them. They had servants, intricate motivations. They felt actually a part of the world, and in turn we actually knew more about those gods in the series without ever even meeting them. We didn't meet most of the 13 ones. I mean, FF10, it did the same. We saw how Yevon played a role, how repressive it was on people. We could kind of get an idea of who Yevon would be, and it was built up, and it was intricate, and it was fleshed.
That's just good story writing, Square.
You know what it could be? It could even be something as simple as extremist nutjobs who you can interact with in the city. They tell you about what the legends of the Hydreian are. Hydration. The Hydromac 3000, the closest shave you'll ever had. They could be anarchists. They can be talking about her return and how they've been waiting for it, washing away the filth of the human sins. And then back that up. You know, when Nocti's storming down the door to go confront Leviathan, have some of those extremists there in their robes throwing themselves into the water to be with their god. It's so frustratingly obvious. You could have expressed some real quality and depth with the Astrals. But that aside, I will give Square Enix where credit is due, and that is the visual splendor of them, obviously. You also did play them into the mystery of the game very well. You paced them well apart, had them in the stories. Again, too few, couldn't summon them all, which is maybe why we don't have enough story. You were trying to really play them into the mystery of the game and being really elusive with them. And this is the thing I'll give them credit for. Things like the Rock of Ravito, that ravine that was carved from Bahamut's sword, or even just Shiva's body plummeting a once desert region into a frozen tundra. Really cool. You showcased their physical influences on EOS fantastically, the Marxists, but that is all the more reason we should have seen them embedded in the culture of EOS. Because I mean, unlike FF10 or 13, their gods, they've become mythologized. Literally, some of them have been gone for thousands and thousands of years, but they are still mythologized in memory, yet they still have worshippers. But Final Fantasy 15, where its gods aren't just a legend or a bit of guesswork or a leap of faith, there's actual there's literally proof of its gods. They are depicted on your art. You literally saw one of them wake up and die not long ago. They even just talk about Leviathan and her power just openly and brazenly in Altissia, but there doesn't seem to be any kind of fear or reverie. It sounded more like some inconvenient monster was going to come along and you had to evacuate the city. You know, it just makes no sense, and why they don't feel like gods and why they don't play the role that they should or have the impact that they should have had in Final Fantasy 15. Why does 15 feel more like a fantasy based on atheism than it does in reality? But I'm finishing off on an even dumber thing than trying to retcon fix the ending of a game. Is how you didn't even then carry those over into the recently done Pocket Edition. Are you kidding me? You don't even make Ifrit look Starscourgey there, and you just released it. I mean, no, do you know what they actually did instead? Instead, they added extra lines to Arden. for no reason. He basically just expresses his hatred a bit more passionately, but the point is they add more lines for completely no reason. But then not only did you not add the new lines where Shiva actually gives us a bloody clue, a hint, that her and Ifrit were actually a couple and what she was even doing this all for. No, they actually missed out all of the lines. Only slither of detail we even had. It's not even in there. I was shocked. I haven't played the Pocket Edition, I was just watching it. They just didn't add them. They just left it blank, meaning that Pocket Edition players have even less of a clue of what's going on in this game. Those are my thoughts on why the summons, they just don't work for me at this point. They don't work anymore. And why seeing this patch update, it made me roll my eyes and actually feel any kind of excitement despite my really strong passion for this game. I will at least admire them for trying to make the whole thing one cohesive experience now, but the sad truth is at this point, I think that even if they did, even if they did tell the story I've been waiting for and we've been waiting for, even if they do release in 2018 that Ifrit's story DLC and it has every bit of juicy story content under the sun, everything I could have wanted, I could have ever theorized, I don't even think it will be the excited ding, all the pieces have fallen into place moment that I've been envisioning it will be. I don't think it's going to be that anymore. The truth of it is I'll probably roll my eyes and exasperatingly ask, why the fuck didn't you just say that? Because now only 2%, including me of the fan base, knows, because the other 98% was smart enough to draw the DLC rape line in the sand that I never will. You can't shove shit back up your ass, Square. And I'm only saying that because as a fan, I care. But that's a wrap. Let me know your opinion on this topic and maybe with the reason why you think they felt it necessary to make the changes they did in patch 1.21. Let me know in the comment section below. Until the next video, Kubo!